to today's Explainer. We've got a fascinating and honestly super timely topic today. We're going to explore the brilliantly executed two-pronged strategy that allowed Chinese e-commerce apps to just absolutely dominate the US retail market. But we're also going to look at the sudden, dramatic trade policies that are actively threatening to tear that very empire down. We're talking about the psychology that gets us hooked, the economic loopholes that make it all possible, and the sweeping new tariffs that are changing the game overnight. Okay, let's dive right into this. $3 billion. It's a staggering number, right? According to recent market analysis, that is exactly how much the e-commerce giant Temu spent on advertisements last year alone. Some folks are calling it the most aggressive growth play since Uber. But here's the thing, spending billions on ads only works if you have a business model that can actually convert those clicks into fiercely loyal repeat buyers.
To figure out how they pulled this off, here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the e-commerce explosion. Second, the psychology of gamification. Third, the de minimis loophole. And finally, the tariff roadblock.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the e-commerce explosion.
So before we get into the how, we really need to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this new breed of retail. 1.36 billion shipments entered the US in the 2024 fiscal year through one single trade loophole. To put that crazy number into perspective, US Customs data shows this volume has more than doubled in just 4 short years. These small packages now represent over 90% of all cargo entering the United States. It's literally a logistical phenomenon that has reshaped global trade as we know it.
Which brings us to Section 2, the psychology of gamification. So how on earth are these platforms generating billions of individual orders? Well, they're practically hacking our brains. If you've ever found yourself feeding a virtual pet just to get a discount on a sweater, you are definitely not alone. We're looking at some actual examples from an empirical study on China's massive 618 online shopping festival, specifically looking at the platform Taobao. E-commerce platforms just don't present a boring catalog of goods anymore. They offer interactive games. Actually, scratch that. It's more like an arcade. Users collect virtual coins to upgrade and feed digital pets, and the payoff comes in the form of red packets, which are essentially real-world discount codes. The platforms are leveraging two main things here: rewards giving and the visibility of achievement, like shiny badges and leaderboards.
But why does feeding a fake cat make us want to buy real products? Researchers point to something called self-determination theory. This is a widely recognized psychological framework that basically says we are all wired with 3 fundamental needs. First up is autonomy, our need for freedom of choice and control. Second is competence, the desire to feel capable, effective, and to actually see ourselves progress. And third is relatedness, our deeply human need for social connection and belonging. And this brilliantly illustrates how those needs translate directly into consumer behavior. This model from the study shows the exact psychological pipeline. When an app gives you the freedom to choose your games, boom, it satisfies your need for autonomy. When you earn badges and level up your virtual pet, it satisfies your need for competence. And when you show off those achievements on leaderboards, that satisfies relatedness. The study proves that when these intrinsic needs are met through gamification, it drastically increases a consumer's intention to buy and their loyalty to the app. In short, the games make you feel good, so you buy more, and you just keep coming back. Moving right along to Section 3, the de minimis loophole.
Okay, so the psychology gets us hooked, right? But here is the reality check. Gamification only works if the actual products waiting at the end of that game are incredibly cheap to begin with. So, we're pivoting from psychology over to economics. You literally cannot understand the rise of ultra-cheap e-commerce without understanding this term. De minimis is a Latin phrase meaning of little importance. In US trade policy, which was introduced way back in the 1930s, it originally allowed travelers to bring in $5 worth of goods without declaring them. Fast forward to 2016, and that threshold got bumped all the way up to $800. This meant any package worth less than $800 could enter the US without paying a single cent in import fees or taxes. This obscure little policy, it became the absolute bedrock of the ultra-cheap e-commerce model.
And get this, a massive 60% of all these untaxed de minimis packages come directly from China. Platforms like Shein and Temu utilize this loophole absolutely masterfully. Instead of shipping giant containers of goods to US warehouses and paying standard import tariffs, they used the gamification we just talked about to generate millions of small individual orders. Then, they shipped them directly from Chinese factories right to American doorsteps, 100% tax-free. However, flooding the country with untaxed packages has triggered some massive pushback. The US government and domestic industry associations have raised 2 huge concerns here. First, they argue it creates a severely unfair competitive advantage for foreign sellers who completely bypass the taxes local businesses have to pay. Second, and arguably much more urgently, officials claim the sheer volume of unchecked small packages has allowed illicit synthetic opioids, specifically fentanyl and the precursor chemicals used to make it, to slip across the border undetected. Which leads us to our final section, the tariff roadblock. So those dual concerns, economic fairness and border security, have led to a massive geopolitical earthquake. The era of unchecked, tax-free small packages is actively being dismantled. To address these issues, the Trump administration took direct action to end the de minimis exemption for these goods. Outlining the reasoning in a recent executive order, President Donald Trump stated, "These exports play a significant role in the synthetic opioid crisis in the United States." This marked the official closure of the very loophole that fueled the rise of these massive e-commerce giants. The resulting policy change here is pretty staggering. Before, as we saw, goods under $800 got a free pass. Now, parcel carriers have to choose between applying a massive 120% levy or a flat $100 fee to these previously exempt packages. And it's super important to note, this new import charge is piled right on top of the 145% tariffs that are already placed on all Chinese imports as part of the broader trade landscape. So the crucial point is exactly how fast these new tariffs are hitting the consumer's wallet. Spoiler alert, it's immediate. Without the de minimis loophole, the ultra-cheap pricing model just breaks down. Recent data compiled by Bloomberg shows that Shein has already started hiking prices. In just a single week, women's clothing saw an average increase of 8%. The top 100 products in beauty and health skyrocketed by 51%. And a 10-piece set of kitchen towels saw a mind-blowing price increase of 377%. The ripple effects across the global supply chain have been immediate and honestly pretty chaotic. In response to the tariffs, Temu announced it's stopping its direct from China shipping model and pivoting to local fulfillment using US-based sellers. Shein, facing massive business uncertainty, is reportedly considering hitting pause on its highly anticipated IPO in London. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for China's Commerce Ministry warned that these tariff hikes will ultimately just increase costs for American consumers and completely degrade their overall shopping experience. All of this leaves us with one massive question looking toward the future of retail. Will the end of the de minimis loophole mean the actual end of ultra-cheap fast fashion? Look, we know these platforms have totally mastered the psychology of gamification. They know exactly how to engage our need for autonomy, competence, and relatedness to keep us playing their games. But come on, can a virtual cat and a digital leaderboard really save their business model now that their unbeatable tax-free prices are gone? It's a fascinating collision of consumer psychology and global trade law, and it's definitely something we'll be watching closely. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep questioning what's behind the screen the next time you shop.